i livelli passati.
Well, what a better way to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Life is good, yeah.
Life is very good.
Perfect what it is. Right. Okay. So, hello everyone. Barbara is here today in Puna, in Hawaii, with Aunty Mahealani. Aunty is a teacher messenger, the spiritual voice of the ancestor, and she brings the ancient teaching, the aloha spirit into today a lifestyle. So we love to hear from you about Hawaiian spirituality, aloha spirituality.
Well, we were talking earlier, I really want to refer to that because it's so much about our mo'olelo, and mo'olelo in our Hawaiian way means that we pass on messages and teachings through our story time. So it was great that earlier, as we were sitting around the table and we were discussing, having a short conversation about the aloha spirit, and you brought up several things about what you thought or what other people have even said about the aloha spirit, and I just said, well, there's a simple way to really understand the aloha spirit. And for me, understanding the aloha spirit is that when you see someone smile, you know, smiles and joyfulness, just like what you're doing now, that's really about the aloha spirit. That's extending that aloha spirit, because aloha spirit is really about happiness, about joyfulness, about feeling good in the moment that you are, you know. And so our way of seeing or promoting the aloha spirit, with visitors especially, is that if we can get them to smile, you know, smile on whatever level that is, just get them to smile about something, then we have achieved a moment in time of providing them with the aloha spirit. Because the aloha spirit is all about laughter. It's all about smiles. It doesn't matter what you may be thinking. It doesn't matter what your lifestyle is even. None of that matters. What matters is, in the moment, you can feel a sense of joyfulness. And that's the aloha spirit. That's where we start from. And then we go on an adventure of aloha, of more smiling, more greatness, more moments of happiness. That's the aloha spirit.
So this is why we live in the flow.
Yeah, we do. We live in the flow. We do. We live in, or what I like to say, living life in jello. Living life in jello. That way you don't take things too seriously, you know? You don't try to take on the whole world and all its pilikia, trauma and drama, you know, that doesn't even belong to you to do. Your responsibility is not about fixing the world. It's not even about trying to fix somebody else, okay? Yeah. Because if you try to do that, oftentimes you'll run into pilikia, trauma and drama.
Okay.
It means being so overwhelmed with problems, yeah? Or getting up in the morning, let's say, and somebody joyful like you comes along and says, good morning world, you know? And somebody else who's not feeling joyful comes along and goes, oh yeah, what's so good about it? See, that's pilikia. That's pilikia. My grandfather used to say that the mornings is a great place to start off your day. And so you really have a choice. You have the choice to be in pilikia, trauma and drama, or be in joy. Yeah. But whatever level you choose, then that's the level that you're going to have to live with.
What is the border of the responsibility of for our happiness and the happiness of the other people? How we can take care about other people with aloha. It's very
There's a thin line. Yeah, there is. There's a thin line. Well, we call that manaiho. Manaiho. Manaiho is about understanding first who you are. Yeah? Understanding that as long as you are very pa'a, meaning very firm in your life with your levels of joy, happiness, good feelings about things, you know. It's to the point where if you are really feeling good about your life, then yes, there's enough aloha energy in you to possibly be able to help another. But if you are not at that point in your life where your energies are very aloha, it's awfully hard to try to help somebody else. Because so often we may think that we are first responsible for helping someone else out, you know? And in truth, we aren't. What we are responsible for is to being sure that we are solid in our alohas, that we are able to give to ourselves, to nurture our emotions, to nurture our minds, our hearts, so that we are strong enough. And when we are, then perhaps, upon being asked, you must be invited. And then we can perhaps help another. Yeah, then fine. But to think that it's our responsibility to fix the world or another, no.
So this state can help to grow our mana.
Yes.
Just about feel the aloha and living the aloha.
Feeling that aloha. You know, for instance, you mentioned earlier that living here in Hawaii oftentimes feels like it's easier to live aloha here. It's easier to smile here because you'll always get that aloha back. Now, I won't mention where it's hard, but in looking at the rest of the world, so to speak, who are not, you know, accustomed to the aloha spirit, you would, you know, this joyfulness, this aloha-ness about you would probably stand out like a sore thumb elsewhere. Yeah. And that's all we have to remember is no matter where we go, you know, people being people, no matter what, you yourself have that manaiho, that self-empowerment that's already there in place. So it's up to you. There's your kuleana. There's your responsibility then. That just because the rest of the world may not be quite in tune with you, that's no reason to give up your alohas.
Simple like the Ho'oponopono that you
Yes.
Can you talk about it a little bit?
Well,
The difference between your view of Ho'oponopono and the other.
Okay. And being that that is my own personal opinion.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. Okay.
If it makes you happy.
Joyful. Yes, joyful. The Ho'oponopono, the one that has been more known out here in the world, was introduced by my Aunty Simeona, back in the early 40s, my understanding. I never met her. It was a bit before my time. But the teachings that she brought out into the public, yeah, so from the village, if you will, and brought it out into the public, It was really about, at first, the talk in the Hawaiian communities was mostly, and especially in my ohana, was mostly about how radical she was being to bring out such a teachings that there was many of our elders that didn't feel that the world was ready for the gifts. Because truly, Ho'oponopono, back in their day, and so much so, the true teachings of it was about gifting. It was, in other words, it was a treasured, valued system. Okay? By that I mean, it had to do with our sense of spirituality. For our Hawaiian, spirituality meant that we were connected, we were in oneness with all our gods and goddesses. We were in oneness with the flowers, the plants, the trees. We were in oneness with all life forms, no matter what. Okay? So of course, just being in that kind of understanding was not the same understanding that the missionaries brought to our islands. The understanding that there is only one God. The understanding that each person are sinners. The understanding that each person was born to a world that was in wrongness. You know, that there had to be a lot of forgiveness for the wrongness of things. Well, we don't come from that. Our Hawaiian culture is not based in that. We are based in aloha. We know who we are. We are children in oneness with our gods, our goddesses, our aina, our land, our flowers, our people, each other. There are no wrongs for us. But the influences that comes to the islands, we don't want others who come to the islands to feel like we think of them in wrongness, because we don't. No, because we do value that they are in their rightness too. They are entities, they are spiritual beings. So therefore, we're going to accept what they have to offer too, because we feel them as gifts as well, because they are in spirit oneness with us, even when they don't think so. As long as we can see the smiles on their faces, then we know they are in aloha. Even if it's only for a moment or two, that's okay. We're always going to find those moments of aloha and help them gain the mana in that.
So the aloha is the challenge for the Western.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I guess it could be quite a challenge for those who are not accustomed to living aloha daily. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure it's
So
a challenge.
if they start to live the aloha, they don't need to do Ho'oponopono anymore.
Not really. No. Ho'oponopono comes from this sense of being, self-empowerment. So it was about helping to aid each other and in the families. Yes, it was kept mostly in the families. And it was about helping each other to maintain the aloha, promote the aloha spirit. That was what it was made to do. Okay? In the ancient times with our people, we understood the aloha spirit fully. So because of that, we didn't need a sense of counseling, if you will. Just Ho'oponopono by itself. You are using words that speak and say nothing about forgiveness, because there is nothing in that Ho'oponopono, that word, those words, that speak anything about the wrongness of anything. To understand us to understand our spirituality, to truly understand what we are about, then you need to know from day one what does the words mean. Ho'oponopono means making right more right. There is no wrongs in it.
Right.
The ho'oponopono that's going around and everybody thinks that's Hawaiian, or the huna that everybody thinks that's Hawaiian. It's not, but hey, you know, they think it is, okay. I see the aloha in that even though it isn't Hawaiian, let's say, but just the fact that it causes curiosity in the world. Then eventually those who really want to do a search and really want to find out more, really want to find out what the Hawaiians think, they with their joyful smiles come find us. Oh, that's what you did. Absolutely, absolutely. Great example. If it makes you smile, brings joy in your heart, go with it. Yeah.
So this is why for the Hawaiian it's important to tell stories before.
Oh, absolutely.
And no just writing to be in contact. And why the Hawaiian language is so powerful. The vowels also is more powerful. When you chant.
Well,
Or when you pray. Because when you chant,
oh,
you
definitely.
pray.
Oh, definitely. Well, we're talking about now living in this modern world. There really are now two thoughts about our Hawaiian language. In that there is the Kupuna language. That's the one that comes from our living language, our ancient ancestors. That language. And then there's the Hawaiianized language. What we call Hawaiianized is the made-up Hawaiian words to fit the English format. Yeah. So now we have that language too that's
Right.
introduced. You know, why would we do that? You know? And I said, wait, not we. We're not talking about the general, you know, populace.
Right.
We're talking more about the academic world. And the academic world, in order to fill their needs to conform the language, they had to, you know, or they felt that they had to have more English words into the Hawaiian, so they had to make up some Hawaiian words to fit it into the English. Yeah, to hold the English. Our language as a culture, our words, there are very few words. As an example, they say, oh yeah, Hawaiian language only has 12 letters, right? Well, you can't make up a whole lot of words with just 12 letters.
That you do.
It's very limited. So in truth, our Hawaiian language, the words were very limited. And there was a purpose for that. Our kupuna, our ancestors, engineered the language to have very few words. Again, the reason for that, the mindset, is too many words confuses the mana'o. The mana'o is the mind. Too many words can cause confusions.
Right.
Yes. So they knew this. One, so they had only few words. Okay?
Right.
Many of the words, many of the speakers that speak this language today, our kupunas, many of our kupunas feel that it's very hurtful, the sound of the way they speak it. It's so ragged or rough, or it doesn't have that mana, that smoothness, that beautiful feeling, because they're not teaching the mana side of it, the feeling of the words.
Because you have mana in the word.
Oh yes, absolutely. And another thing is that our language had no negative words. Why you need negative? What good would that have done? What good is that? Only aloha. Aloha is pono. Aloha is perfect. That's promoting the perfection of all living things. Why do you need anything less than it?
This is also why the Hawaiian have the chant and the pray to connect with the natural world.
Always, always. Our olis always connects.
Everything is about natural.
Yes.
And in the Hawaiian spirituality.
And to accept, because see, in our olis it carries the mana. And in the mana, we are part of that. That's where our essence also is.
What if you put the power in the emotion in the throat to create the dream that you want in your life?
Well, the dream time for manifesting things, we call that the desired experiences. Okay. Well, desired experiences is something that a person really feels, first of all, joyful. The emotions to use with that kind of energy is joy. Not not seeing it as a hardship, but to already see that desired experience as already existing. You take it out of the dream state.
Right. So
Yeah.
be conscious.
Yes, you take it out of what today's term is the there and bring it to the here.
Right.
Yeah.
Just in the moment.
Yes. So you, for us, I say, you need to understand then the energies of creation, and that all things as we know comes from an invisible and then becomes visible. Okay. So you need to take that invisible, put it into the visible, and know, accept it, apono, that it's already here. That it's already here. As adults, we need to return to that. We need to return to that childlike state, because dreams, childlike state, joyfulness, they all have rhythm. It all works together. The only thing that sometimes poses to be a challenge is the adult mind. We got to get past that.
Right.
Yeah.
Come back to the child.
Come back to the child place in being. Know that the reality of the experience is already in place. My grandpa used to say that all people are the same. No matter what, we're all in the same canoe.
Yeah.
We're all in the same canoe.
We have to paddle.
And we just have to paddle it. Some people just forget how to paddle. Some people forget where they put the paddle. So we just have to help them to identify it, use it properly with the sacred laws in hand, which means themselves as part of. They are the spirit. They are the spirit in human body bags. That's how we are. We are all running around. We're spiritual beings in bubble bags. That's what my granddaughter once said. But, this is Hawaii.
So this is ikaponomea means
Ikaponomea means
manifest.
everything. No, it means that you accept that everything is in right place. Everything is in divine order. Right place, right time, right being. That's what it means. Everything is. Kale aloha I na kupuna. Kale aloha I na kupuna. And we are greeting the ancestors. Noho aoi kamanava. Noho aoi kamanava. Amena manava ikiko upono. Amena manava ikiko upono. Mahalo nui no o mai kaineo. I love the rain. Mahalo nui no o mai kaineo. Kale aloha I na kupuna. Kale aloha I na kupuna. Noho aoi kamanava. Noho aoi kamanava. Amena manava ikiko upono. Amena manava ikiko upono. Mahalo nui no o mai kaineo. Mahalo nui no o mai kaineo. Kale aloha I na kupuna. Kale aloha I na kupuna. Hey, inoa no na kupuna. And all is understood that the world is ikaponomea. All is in right time, right place, right being. Aloha.
Mahalo.
Mahalo.